summer, Mike likes machine guns.
I like machine guns. Episode 21. Happy Monday. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Today, great little episode on the way.
Yeah, we've got Flux Defense here.
That's just what I was going to say. You stole my thunder.
I apologize.
We've got Flux
you
Defense.
Guys. The twins, but not twins.
The twins, but not twins. That's right.
These guys messed me up at Shootaw.
Yeah, that was
How
crazy.
so?
Well, I ran into Mr. Mustache over here.
Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah.
And I thought it was you. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, you can see me pointing. For those of you listening, sorry. But they're not twins, but you guys look identical.
And at various times we have looked very similar. Have had similar haircuts and stuff.
If
That's
we
why I
have
gotta wear this
similar hair,
ridiculous thing
yeah.
so that people can differentiate.
Please tell me, growing up, you guys messed with your.
No, because growing up there was a 4-year difference, so there was a bit of a size difference at times.
Who's younger?
So he's 4 years younger.
So like when you were starting to date, you were too young.
I was out of the house. I was gone.
Yeah.
I left the house pretty young.
When we were young, I mean, the age difference was too much. But after that,
but as we became
20s, I
adults,
definitely
we
fucked
made
around. I
friends.
mean, especially voice. The voice was very similar.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So like
On the phone, you
with
can't
his
differentiate
ex-girlfriend or whatever, I'd fuck around a lot.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it was all honest mistakes. I don't blame him for. I know it was a mistake. So.
It happens.
So before we jump into telling our audience, which I'm sure many of the people listening today know who Flux is. If you don't, you guys are in for a treat today. We're definitely big fans of you guys. Let's introduce our new sponsors, Mike.
Well, the Food Club with
back.
purified drinking water
I love this
is
stuff.
back.
This stuff
No,
is
it's
so
great
good.
water.
Fantastic.
Listen, if you're
Have
not,
a great day with great water.
Yeah, really, right?
Make your day great.
And
Again.
the label is really, really fantastic, man. They really put some thought.
Well,
some
it's
real
just
art
no
direction.
BS. Look,
No
you're not
BS.
paying for any fluff here. You
You're
want
not
water,
getting
you get water.
You're getting water. You're not getting anything but water. That's what I love.
And-
Not butt water. I'm not saying it's butt water. You're not getting butt water. Excuse me. You're getting just water. It's
Yeah,
not butt
correct.
water.
Just
Pretty good for butt water.
Correct side. It's
not
not
bad.
butt water. I didn't mean to say butt water. Excuse me.
all right, quality guaranteed. We're paid to say this. We have to say this. So quality guaranteed, 100% satisfaction, or double your money back.
That's.
Let me repeat that.
Awesome.
Double your money. So you could legitimately
it's
get
like
paid.
buying from Billy Mays. I'm going to double your order with a guarantee of full satisfaction and double your money back.
Double. Not bad.
Order now.
For those of you who are wondering and watching, this shirt says "Born to Cuddle," based off of the Vietnam design "Born to Kill"
Yeah.
from
It's like
Full Metal Jacket.
It's like,
Full Metal Jacket, yeah.
Yeah, our friends over at Nirvana Defense sent Mike and I some pretty cool swag.
Great
I like it. I
stuff.
dig it.
Yeah, guys, go check them out.
Stickers, patches.
Yeah,
That was a good day.
That was a good
brightened
day.
our week, I
it
think.
did. Yeah, so thank you Nirvana Defense for hooking it up.
My daughter stole my tie-dyed shirt, and she was wearing it yesterday.
It says on it. Should I tell the audience what the tie-dye shirt says on it?
I mean, it says on it. Why wouldn't you say it?
Sure. It says, "Kill your local pedophile."
Yeah.
But it says it in very hippie lettering, so it's not super obvious, but it is kind of funny.
It's pretty neat.
Like your shirt, man.
I'm pretty sure the owner of that is one of the owners of Blackwater Actual, who they developed the ammunition.
Cool.
Out of Georgia, maybe? No.
I'm not 100% where they are. I know that they're kind of like us in the fact that certain people are in different parts of the country.
Yeah.
But I do believe that they manufacture their ammunition somewhere in the South.
Yeah. I think we're going to try to have them on our podcast, so that'll be a good episode, too.
That'd actually be really good.
Yeah.
They're interesting and funny
I mean, look at this.
and scary.
Yes. Yeah, Blackwater.
Blackwater.
Those guys are serious business.
That's right.
Okay, Flux Defense. Let's start from the beginning. Is this your brainchild? How did Flux
So you guys know Arius, my business partner, and we at some point we didn't really grow up with guns, but both of our both of our sets of parents weren't real gun people.
We had a grandpa though that was just hell bent for guns. I mean, like hell bent.
Yes.
So he nurtured this love
we had
of guns
some
from a very young age.
Yeah.
And I know I can't speak for you. I'm sure it's the same, but for me, I was obsessed with guns like growing up. As an adult, as a young adult, I mean, I was still into them, but I had to like distance myself because I would get in trouble at school for drawing little guns, and I'd try to draw them as like accurate.
He did
as
real
possible.
good. I still have a lot of the drawings. They're fucking
Like
awesome.
tiny guns, little tiny guns. But I was obsessed.
That's
so,
what was on your mind.
Yeah, and so I would get in trouble because then the teacher would go, "Why are you drawing all these guns? There's obviously something wrong with you." And
Serial killer.
yeah. My mom had to come sit in a class one time. Yeah, in high school. But yeah. So anyway, we did have some. So
we had some
up,
exposure for
some,
sure.
like,
Our grandfather was awesome, man. He had a ton of awesome
two guns
shit.
carrying concealed at all times. He had a backup for his.
PPK.
Yeah, had a Browning high power for his main, and then he had PPK.
Always on. Yeah, I
Ankle,
mean he had to use it. Not he had to use it.
Yeah.
He at a young age he had witnessed his lady getting gang raped basically.
Oh, wow.
It was
Yeah, these
bad.
guys like got on, and so after that point, like he was like, "I will," and he's nothing he could do. They were like, he was like 5 of them,
I mean,
and this was probably 50s in the 50s when this happened.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Never again will I be in a position where I don't have a force equalizer where I cannot change a situation like that."
Wow.
That'll change you.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
So yeah, he was bringing the guns.
So Grandpa inspired you guys to get into the...
huge influence.
My grandfather did too. He was
awesome.
He was what you call a hoarder of weapons.
Yeah. So this our grandfather
Same,
was
and then we got
Yeah.
that virus, and it's a pretty good one to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as far as starting Flux, I started just drawing shit on CAD. It was butt fucking ugly, like terrible, ugly, terrible stuff, like an AK bullpup chassis that I wanted to make. I don't know what I was doing.
You're just experimenting.
Yeah, I was experimenting.
Well,
for
you
sure.
got to find your way.
Yeah.
and no
yeah.
experience. He just picked up CAD
Yeah,
and just started fucking.
Just grab. I had a couple intro to engineering classes in high school, but besides that, I mean, I had no education anyway. So
You don't need it nowadays, right? UT
No.
University
Yeah, I mean,
taught me
There-
more than my professors did.
I totally agree. There are some certain things that
Sure.
you got to learn, and there's stuff on YouTube, like say certain manufacturing shit. Like there's valuable secrets, valuable shit that companies and people have spent a lot of resources accruing and gathering that they're not just going to give away to all their competition. So there is certain things, and I mean, there's definitely certain things you got to go to school for. But yeah, I just started drawing, and then my buddy Arius that I grew up with, he definitely didn't grow up with guns at all. I mean, not way less than me, but we figured out, we kind of reconnected, and then figured out that both of us were super into guns, like super into guns. He's a genius. He's like super crazy, outside the box thinking. And then I'm maybe not quite as much that way, but I'd like to think outside the box, like from a ground up thinking. And so anyway, he's like, you're drawing this shit and it's ugly, and he knows how to make shit look good. Like as I was telling you earlier, I mean, he does like a lot of media and marketing and videos. He's really good at that shit. He's got the artistic mind. So we started developing little tiny, I'm about like packing the most firepower or horsepower in the smallest package possible.
Sure.
And keeping it maneuverable, like getting all the best advantages of both worlds and combining into one. So that's kind of what it was, is we wanted to have, a system that was much more capable than the standard, design of a handgun. But, and then, so anyway, he came to me.
Didn't you guys send one of these early on to Demo Ranch?
No.
I'm trying to remember who I saw this.
Yeah, one of the Raiders. Yeah, I mean, I think they reached out to. I can't remember what happened. Like the bunker branding dude reached out to us. So yeah, they have one.
I'm just trying to remember. I remember when I first saw him out there on the social media realm, I was like, ooh, what is that? Something on a Halo?
The first social media we were ever on was here, Dead Air.
Really?
So, yeah, I mean, so anyway, we got to the point where Arias and I had like we had the magazine carrier, and we had like a light and laser inside of it. And
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, so we didn't show. We went to SHOT Show. We had these dumb little. I mean, they were amazing. You know, Arias, when you hear this, like they were awesome looking, super cool. But we had to blur out the whole thing. So we're looking at manufacturers and potential investors and stuff. The first shot where we met you at,
Sure.
And I mean, no one's giving us the time of day, rightly so, because we can't show them anything. It's like yeah, we have a revolutionary, cool product. I promise. It's basically I promise it's cool. Like not a good situation
No,
to be
yeah.
in. And Mike was the only one who listened to us.
Yeah, from
like
the
the
very
only
beginning.
one who gave us the
Seriously?
time of day. Yeah, which.
Yeah.
It was awesome, man. That was super cool. I mean, I remember figuring out, like, showing you had your lock picks and everything. We used to be emergency locksmiths, so like,
Nice.
that's what we did. 24. I mean, that's how I started Flux. Is I
We
was
bonded.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, man, that's rad. And then you were just, Mike is one of the coolest dudes, if not the coolest dude in the industry. He's absolutely hilarious and super smart. But anyway,
Agreed.
I bought my
True.
I bought my very first AK from Mike.
Did you
almost
really?
20 years ago.
Holy crap.
Almost 20 years ago. Yeah.
Get
Very
some.
first.
get some.
America First gave me a $10,000 credit card. The first thing I went out and did was buy an AK, and that was at Get Some 72nd.
Thank you, America
Small
First.
little-
Dude, that store was tiny.
Yeah, tiny. So I went in there. That's where I first met you. You sold me my first AK. You pointed me in the right direction. Got a Vector Arms. It was super sweet. Still have it today. I
They
love
built
that
some
gun.
nice
Yeah.
rifles
Dude, it's
back
still
then.
one of the best shooting AKs I own. And then, man, I just continually bumped into you at gun store. And then I was going to work at Silencer Co. So I was touring Silencer Co. And I bumped into you there again. And I just run into you gun stores like all over the valley, like for the last 18, 20 years.
I get around, huh?
Yeah, he definitely gets around. But
Everybody
yeah.
knows Mike. Like it's always
Yeah, it's
mind blowing because everybody always knows Mike and loves Mike.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, full circle, you guys are on the podcast now, and we're talking about some Flux Defense here,
Yeah,
Flux,
which
yeah.
is rad.
yeah.
Well, the first time I saw it, I think we were standing either right there or right here.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah,
And
it's
we're
that video.
You came up and
yeah.
you called me and said you wanted to show
Yeah.
me something, and
Well,
Let's
that's
show them that. That's the first one, isn't it?
yes,
The one that you had.
Okay, so
For those of you who are listening, head over to our YouTube if you want to see this. For those of you who are watching, check it out.
yeah, so we met with Mike. I think we showed him and then one other person, potential investor outside the industry. At that point we'd only developed the mag carrier, and this is actually a later iteration built to take pistol lights and lasers. But we had
So is that two pieces then?
yeah, so this one slides on from the front and then bolts in, and this one slides in from the rear, and then they
Okay.
both mate perfectly to the frame. So the downside
that.
is that it's got to be exactly for that gen of Glock. I mean that there's like 4 or 5 different ones that we have for all the Glocks, but the advantage is it's just pretty easy to take on and off if you wanted to. But and this just pins in right there. But we'd
So
actually
take your
showed,
pistol and turn it into an SBR.
Yeah, so yeah, you can SBR it
Or pistol.
This currently.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think this is actually an SBR, but yeah, this is the brace.
that actual pistol is an SBR.
Yeah, I think I remember.
I
you
just
SBR'd it,
formed it because,
just in case.
well, you just never know.
You never know.
And I figured that I've taken that around a lot to a lot of
Yeah.
different
Yep.
NRA or whatever shows and
Better safe than
events.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seems more calming to if anybody has any.
Yeah, you can put their.
If you want to talk about it, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's an SBR.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not telling you what to do. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's up to the person. I mean, it's really how you're using it, what you want to do personally. But I mean, we have we have stock version. Like this is a stock version for the Raider.
Crack that one open for our viewers.
So this one is this one is the current iteration that we're working on for stocks, where it's like extended extended 3 inches, and it's got a nice like B5 like cheek weld, and it's got storage in here.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, of course.
It looks awesome.
That's what she said.
That's what he said.
But yeah, so that's for our Raider system, and it's like an MP7 kind of length to pull. Yeah. But so we this is where we're at now with the Glock stuff. The Glock stuff is great, and it still works great, but with certain ergonomics, like, modifying basically building around the frame, the polymer frame of the handgun is a bit more difficult. Whereas with the Raider and the SIG, the beauty of the P320 is that, the firearm is the innards. It's that little fire control unit that you can swap in and out.
This one's the Raider here?
Yeah, and so, I mean, it takes
that one up.
Takes like 5 seconds.
Guys, check out the Raider. That is sexy.
So
that's a pistol.
Yeah, so this is the pistol version, built to go around your forearm. And
your forearm. I don't know if that'll fit.
Yeah, maybe not a giant forearm, but you can still dig it. You can kind of dig that thing in. Yeah. So, that's the Raider, and
that is so badass.
Dude, we were able to make a lot of huge, serious improvements with this. Just being able to design more from the ground up. Like, it's not, obviously we didn't design the firearm, the FCU and the slide and everything, but we were able to have much, much more freedom, as well as we learned a lot from, we've had, since the get-go, we've had a lot of interest from Special Forces and SEALs and all sorts of different.
Executive protection.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of places where this.
It's so much smaller than any other similar system out there.
Oh, hands down, yeah.
And then quick, one-handed deploy. We just wanted to, so, the economy of movement, the efficiency has always been, like, we wanted it as small as possible, still extremely easy to use, and then we wanted to be as efficient as possible. So one-hand deploy, and then everything else on it, just trying to streamline. So with the Raiders, it's still pretty new because there's not a ton out there. But if you ever get a chance to shoot one, you should. I mean, I know you guys. Well, have you shot?
Yeah, I have. I've shot all of them. Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Well, for me, I think a main probably driver to that, and military, LE, whatever, civilian, is the ability to get parts and service. Mm-hmm. Look, an MP7's awesome and super cool.
Yeah.
But there's no.
That's a good point.
It's a one-source parts and service, and
the ammo as well. It's hard to get.
Yes, and no one has any parts.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you could go anywhere and grab another pistol.
Exactly.
And keep it running.
We've been told that by, I think we can. There's a lot of stuff we can't say, but I think
upper level.
I'm pretty sure I don't think we have a NDA for this.
You can just
but
say upper
FBI,
level.
HRT, and other groups. I'm pretty sure we don't have NDAs with
you're
those.
Safe.
We got a lot of, like, signing NDAs with the government is this weird thing. Like the signatures, like United States. Anyway, so like they said the same thing. Like they're like, one reason we want your stuff is because, I mean, we can get Glocks and then now SIGs. This is back when we didn't have the SIG originally, but they're saying like overseas, if they have to do, like they can't bring stuff because they're not. I mean, a lot of
correct.
a lot of these missions, they're not necessarily sanctioned or whatever, and so and then the ammo as well. We've been told with the MP7. I mean
we've seen
there's
Born
NDA,
Identity.
There's a lot of NDA stuff with the MP7, but the MP7, as cool as it is, it's awesome. We had an airsoft one when we were first drawing stuff up to kind of compare to and then get ideas from or whatever.
Size and all that.
As cool as it is, the 4.6 millimeter is anemic. We've spoken to I don't know how many dudes who have used it in combat, and we have not had one positive report. Every single one is, I fucking hate it, and my friends died for it, or because it's just people will dump half to a full entire mag into the dude, and they can still unfortunately fire back.
Well, I'm not saying that HK hasn't put effort into ammunition development for that. Much like the 5.7 FN. FN has obviously put a lot of resources into cartridge development for that caliber, but it's available.
Yeah.
More so.
Very true.
It's
Very
still a specialty round, but
Yeah, it's more available.
it appears as I look around that there's a lot of different projectile types and loadings for 5.7.
Yeah, I personally prefer the 5.7. I mean, especially out of like the P90, the longer barrel, especially. You know, I think the pistol's still sufficient, but it is funny the thing with 9mm, and then now there's awesome 357 SIG loadings that. So I mean, the original reason for development for these things was ammo capacity was part. The major thing for developing in that program was armor piercing, which they're now loadings in 9mm. Not now. I mean, there's been for a while, but they're more widely known. Such as one of my favorites, the 65 grain Lehigh Defense. I think it's Extreme Defender. It's like a solid copper projectile. It also goes through barriers really great. Like it penetrates through everything, and then it has excellent terminal ballistics. And that thing can run in these systems. And the 357 SIG loading, I don't remember what the velocity is, but it's like 2,200, 20. I mean, it's screaming.
Well,
Yeah.
I think also ability to completely switch cartridges.
Yeah.
You know, like on that Glock.
Yeah, that's
For
a huge
example,
advantage.
yes, it has a 9mm barrel in it, but it is a 40
Yeah.
Smith
It's
and
easily
Wesson
converted.
chambered, and I could also 357
357
SIG.
SIG, yeah.
Exactly.
And more calibers to come is what we're told, you know.
I mean, a lot of people kind of didn't really care about that, but I mean,
That's a big deal.
You'd
Like
care if you were a long way
That's a
away
big
from
deal.
a sportsman's warehouse.
Yeah.
And if COVID shortages are here and everything, I mean, because I was pretty fine because I was
Those
getting,
days are over.
for the most part. But at the same time,
Well,
I was more than happy that I had bought a bunch of Leo trade-ins with 40 cal barrels, and then I
Sure.
converted to 9. So then I still had, because I'd bought a bunch of really cheap 40 because no one's shooting it, no one's using it, and then I have the capability.
I did the same
Not
thing,
that I
and I
used 40.
ran across a bunch of 357 SIG loaded by Spear with like a 123 gold dot in it, I believe.
It's a good round.
And I got this fairly decent amount of ammo, so I was like, I could buy a SIG barrel
Yeah.
instead of purchasing a whole.
yeah.
And I've never really shot the ammo, and I still have the bulk of it, but
But it's
I
good
can,
to have.
I can shoot it if I want to,
Yeah.
which is very comforting.
How challenging would it be to show the audience basically how this is put together?
You mean like how you would assemble the
Yeah.
handgun? The
Yeah,
pistol?
so you've got your pistolita, and then you pull out your. Oh, there you go. Okay, here he goes.
So that's all it is
That's
here's the firearm. That's the serialized part. And then you do that same thing, and then you just throw it back into the. I don't have a PT-20 chassis here. But you just throw that in there, and then you got your locking lever. It's a cool system, man. I wasn't
Very simple.
a huge believer in the P320 for a very long time, but they've more than proven themselves.
You can also change slide lengths. Is that correct?
Oh, that's slide
I-
lengths, frames. It's
Yeah.
it's amazing, man.
I've
The
seen
whole
a
system.
kit, and I've actually, when I was working in gun stores,
Work
you
this
buy
bad boy.
one kit and it has a different size frame and slide.
You guys see how easy that was? Who were watching? Do that again.
Yeah, so we wanted the release. This is another. I mean, luckily our patent.
Yeah, let's
actually,
do the-
our patent
go through the
covers this
mechanics of this.
because this is a huge part of it. Is not only is it the auto deployment, because I think there's now like another company that does. I saw something for like AR. I mean, I don't know how nice it is, but we wanted it so that you could still have the quickness of a handgun. You know, where you're grabbing that. You're grabbing that handle. As long as you got a good grip, then you can go ahead and fire.
Yeah, you can fire from that
So-
position.
So now your release is where your resting position is. It's like half an inch above there. You just press that down, and then you're ready
Oh.
to go.
And you can do either side, correct?
That
Or no?
unfortunately that's
No.
not yet ambi. Sorry.
Okay. No sweat on that.
Look, don't worry about the ambi part. Much like the bulk of the world, I am also right-handed, so who cares?
Yeah, I mean,
No, I'm just kidding.
the left-handed. We all know the left-handers. If you know,
Screw left-handers.
Firearms are all for
sons of
left-handed.
Satan, man.
Yeah. Pull that out again.
Yeah.
Open it up and then show the audience how easy it is to collapse it.
Yeah, so it is easy if you know the trick and everything, but it's you gotta press that down, and then that releases the mechanism.
It's super easy.
And then you can close it like that, like just like that. That's a little bit harder for some people to do, but it's way easier to just like heavy-handed slap or a hammer fist.
I mean, you're not gonna break this thing. Yeah, this thing. Yeah,
Dude,
so you're not gonna break it.
This particular one has been thrown and run over. I mean, you can see like tons and tons of chunks taken out of it.
Some
everywhere.
weather there. So explain the mechanics of everything. So we did we just did the collapse.
The release.
So now the mag.
So the magazine system is pretty sweet. It's a new patent we got on this one where it's a huge improvement over the Glock. The Glock worked great, but
Don't talk my Glock.
it works great, but at the same time, it does have some disadvantage. We had a lot of people really wanting a mag release, but I mean, your mag release, if you look at the placement, that your palm, if you're ever grabbing there, your palm's going to depress it, and or it's also then you're going to hit a small little button that your thumb's not really built for or whatever. So we designed this one so that it was as easy without accidental mag releases as easy as possible. So we got 3 mag releases on the thing. You can actually remove this one if you don't like it, but if you're let's say you're using the SBR version and then your AR training kicks in, or you just prefer that, we've got a mag release right here that will release your primary mag, the mag that's feeding the gun. And then if you prefer a pistol style, right there, you've got your thumb release, which is same place, but it's a push forward instead of pushing, and feels a lot.
I think it's better, actually.
Yeah, I actually super prefer it.
Well, the option's great. So when you're training, you have that.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, you can.
Exactly.
It's very modular. Like if you don't like everything, like you can
if
just
you mess up
modify
and
it.
hit the wrong button, it does the same thing. So it's going to drop your mag no matter what. So there's redundancy built in.
Yeah.
More than one way to skin that mad cat.
Right. Okay, now the second mag.
So now, the front mag, you can. The release is kind of hard to see, but it's basically in between.
Okay.
It's right underneath the trigger guard. We wanted it so you could never accidentally actuate it,
But if you needed it really quick, you can just thumb it with your...
Yeah, so we also wanted to make sure that if you were going to be releasing it, it's in your hand.
Yeah.
It's in your hand, so you'd never accidentally drop either of the mags. But the way this works is, I don't know how well you'll be able to see any of this, but these are cleared and everything. But so this mag release is like a 2-stage trigger. If you press it, halfway, it'll release just the front. But if you press it all the way, it releases both. So you can do a super fast mag load. Yeah. So I mean, your reload.
You should show them on
Your
film.
reload just goes. It goes. You press this one button, go into there, and then you can this doubles function, and that will drop your slide. So you basically got a bad lever here.
That made me a little horny.
I would tell you, it makes for extremely fast initial reloads.
We're trying to just be as efficient as possible.
And you've got some videos showcasing that. Let's.
Yeah,
I'll put it in the
more
description.
videos.
I'll put a video in the description so people can refer to that.
Pretty smart,
Real quick
Rich?
on the.
You guys literally covered every base on that.
Well, on the ammo. So back to the ammo real quick. So having this brace as a third point of contact allows you to shoot at longer ranges. I mean, you can shoot with a red dot that's sighted in. You can shoot at 100 yards at a steel target all day long, very easily, very quickly hit that target. So with some of these lighter loads, these new loads that kind of mimic more AR, higher velocity, lower weight bullet, it extends the viable lethal range of this to, more like 100 yards. Some of these rounds have like very good terminal ballistics at 100 yards. So you do get a lot more viable, smaller weapon if you pair some of these loads and things like that.
Yeah.
I think my next tax stamp is going to be going towards a...
Nice.
You going to get the SBR version?
I think so.
320?
I think my first official SBR, I've got a pistol, but I don't have an SBR yet.
That's my first SBR right there.
I'll get an SBR and it'll be a Flux.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was a funny thing.
I'm
SBR
super
and
in love
PC-20.
with that one.
Yeah, man. And I think I don't know if you probably, because this is still a real new. I mean, that's why we haven't released the stock version yet. Is we keep.
I don't know if I
changing it.
did shoot this one yet.
But
This is what's throwing me off. Is this component right here?
Yeah, so that's also something we're testing out. Just
Throw a
kind of
little-
a thumb shroud, and then you got optional pick rails on either side if you
I
want.
like that.
We've got a lot of requests for a C grip type clamp.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
Yeah, you
No,
good,
you're
man.
good. Those mags have been dropped so many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But we also have a couple other things. So you got your irons still underneath. It looks like they're covered, but you still have your irons underneath. There's a little bit of a channel. I don't know if you can see that, but you can
I
still
see
use
them.
them plenty good.
Which, with the third point of contact, what that does is it keeps your rear sights locked in so that you can basically just run off the front as a red dot almost. And it's surprisingly accurate for, like,
Yeah.
it's
For
pretty
irons,
wild.
yeah,
Because
it's-
normally, I mean, you're holding it and your rears are moving with your front. This, your rears are pretty much kept solid against wherever you're using that.
Very
properly.
steady.
And so you can actually use, it's not by far not the most comfortable method of shooting, but you can definitely get away with iron sights for sure.
Yeah. So we got those irons, and we've got a little inside the brace. There's this little tray that you can pop out with like a knife or a screwdriver, or whatever.
Nice.
That holds a spare battery for your optic. So that holds like a 2032 in there, and then oh yeah.
Back here, huh?
Yeah, so right here, there's a spare battery, just to keep you going, and then there's a little Allen key back underneath here. I keep banging this damn thing, so that sucks.
That's okay.
So great pains have been taken to get hardware that almost all of the serviceable hardware you'd ever need to use on this, you can access with that Allen key.
All
I
of
mean,
it.
you can you can drop and field strip this drop of a hat with the tool that's included.
Even the optic mat screw.
Yep.
I mean, if not all of the ones will come. 'cause
Sure.
If they're Torx, they won't work. But we have our own. So even those, just in case you ever like change the battery or whatever, or
the amount of
never-
thought you guys put into this.
thanks. I've put a lot. I've got
outstanding.
I will
thousands
say,
of hours.
now
man.
that we're in the firearms industry, seeing some of these large corporations that are very well touted as some of the best in the industry, the amount of non-thinking that goes into some of these is just astounding. I mean,
Right.
it's just crazy. I don't know.
I think what it is a lot of
complacency.
Well, yeah, sure, but a lot of corporations get big enough, and what happens is then you have business executives who are not
Yeah, that's
shooters.
true. That's
They are not users and consumers of the industry, and so they're not going hands on. They don't understand it. They don't understand the community. They don't understand the needs and everything. So
Yeah.
I think that's the reason for a lot of companies. I mean, and then innovation is expensive and risky. I mean, we've got a lot of weird
We've
stuff
gotten,
on
if
here.
you saw the first few SHOT shows we went to, the amount of like people just going like, what the hell is that? I would never use that. What is it? You know what I mean? And you can tell the people that get it and the people that don't get it. And the people that get it, they get it right away and they're like, oh my God, that's revolutionary. That's going to change the game. Whereas the ones that don't get it.
I said that about Facebook and Instagram.
Well, there you go. I mean, and you don't, I don't know.
I think also the scale of manufacturing, as it increases and unit production
Yes.
increases, it becomes more and more important to make it more manufacturable, to make
That's a good
manufacturable, to make more of them for less.
Which, as we release the Raider and as we're producing in COVID and post-COVID times, we're now understanding how important those things are and how important it is to be able to produce these.
Yes.
And, I mean, we're dealing with shortages on a number of different fronts. It's extremely frustrating.
Yeah, so
There's
that's
a lot of frustrated
certainly-
people out there, and we feel you. We're with you. It frustrates
I
the
think-
hell out of us.
I would rather have missed opportunity and not make as much money.
Yeah.
And continue to make
There's
the best product.
Exactly.
that
There's
we
a lot of things
possibly
we could do to make a way more money than we're doing now.
Yeah.
But we want to keep this as high quality as possible, made in the U.S. I mean, this is a lifetime guarantee. If you ever have an issue, if it breaks,
Yep.
we will take care of it. No questions asked. We'll take care of it for
Won't
you.
break, but
It
just
won't
in
break,
case.
and that's the
especially,
thing, like-
especially the Raider.
So-
the Raider's much more durable.
Yeah, the polymer we've used, all of the parts we've used are literally the utmost, the best processes you could use, and the best materials.
Yeah.
I mean, this polymer is out of control.
All the more reason to support you guys.
Thanks.
Beyond the detail and and the care that you've put into making the best product here as we see it. And obviously, you guys are never going to be done innovating. No. But you're homegrown. You're passionate. This is like a beautiful. To me, it's like a beautiful piece of art. It's
awesome.
Like man. That's some epic shit.
The only art I've ever really done, man.
Well, and you don't see a lot of innovation. I mean, you do, but like this was a big step forward within the gun community.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it's really cool that it came from a couple guys here that grandpa was passionate about guns.
Yeah.
Trickled down into you guys, and here we are. That's pretty rad.
I gotta say, so being his older brother and having seen this entire process. Well, I mean, I've seen this whole life from the beginning, to where we are now. To see what him and Arias have been able to create out of literally his basement. I mean, like tiny little basement.
I'm still working there.
Yeah, I mean, you see, it's a workspace. It's but you see, I can't tell you how proud I am of him. It's a really incredible, and I mean, he's put the time in. I mean, he just night after night after night after day after day after day, both him and Arias, just sitting down there. I mean.
Yeah, we were working like 80, 90-hour work weeks for I think like
the
first
every
6 months
you want to point to a part of this product and ask a question, and there are countless hours that have gone into discussing debates. I mean, debates to the
horrible
death
arguing.
Terrible. So when these guys started the company, I would have liked to have been on it, but I just started building a house. And,
he was he was our third team member. He wasn't full time like our first full time.
I just didn't have a lot of time to offer,
because dude, he designed, built his own house by himself, and then delivered a baby inside of it.
which the whole building it yourself, it was. I'm glad it's done, cool, but maybe not.
It's a lot of time.
It took a long time. Yeah, and unfortunately, I would have liked to have been more of a part of this, but so I drop in and give whatever. More what I was an arbiter between these guys, because you had Ben on the extreme engineer side of like, it's got to be functional, it's got to work 100%. What is the best design aspect we could have here? And then you've got Arias on the other side that like,
got to look good.
It's got to look good, and that's super important. And not only past that, man, I gotta say, Arias comes up with some incredible ideas where I'm more like Ben. I'm very engineer side of things. And he comes with some things where you just go like, you roll your eyes right off the bat and you go, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. Yeah. But if you take a step back and you go like, wait. I mean, this whole idea only came from kind of pushing on the extreme side, which is why you don't have big companies that are willing to do things like this. Because
it's risky.
It's so risky. It's crazy. If you guys knew how many people we'd had tell us how stupid this was and how fucking dumb it was, it's incredible. But
and now look at him.
Well, it would
we're getting there.
It would cost them a tremendous amount more.
Yeah.
They would have a whole team on it, and
what
came out the other side would not be as clean.
100%.
Yeah, we didn't
exactly. That's one thing I can say.
We didn't grow up with money, so we were. I'm frugal as shit, and so developing it, I tried as careful. I mean, I was very careful with everything.
Off of not making anything off of locksmithing. I mean, like
dude,
scraping
the year,
by.
So
scraping
the year before, I think it's like right after I met you, because I mean we'd been working for years, even before that. But when we got really serious, and then after meeting you, I think that whole year, I made like $15,000 or so before taxes, before business expenses, because it was our business,
Sure.
And everything. So I don't know how much I made, but it wasn't very much. And then
how long ago was that?
It's only,
3-4 years ago, something like that. Yeah, something like, I don't even remember, man. Time isn't. Yeah.
Not that long
I'm not
ago,
good at time, so that's why I wear this watch, because it tells me the date, tells me the day, like it's Wednesday.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Now I know that.
But so I think, and then I put in like $15,000 into the company. So I put in way more than I was making. So I had to fund it with my gun collection, because my gun collection,
that's
I just had to
$15,000
sell off.
Probably making $30,000. So I mean, that's like half of your yearly income. Like,
no, my year it was 15.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just meant before that. Like,
yeah,
it's not like you were making. It's not like you were making much to start.
No,
with.
yeah, locksmith thing, especially that locksmith.
So where can this might be a little off topic, or it's not really that off topic. Where can people find these?
Fluxdefense.com. That's
okay.
it. That's
okay.
Yeah, I mean,
not retailers yet.
Yeah. No, we just dude, our demand is too much. So we that's where we're working on now. Is like Mike was just saying. I mean, it is important to be able to manufacture. The biggest lesson for me, if anyone's out there like wanting to do something like this, you can definitely can, and it is easier in some aspects than you think, but it's also way harder. Yeah. And the biggest lesson was, because I was gunsmith. I mean, like home guns, just from my own self, my own guns and everything. I liked, because I was poor as shit. I would buy broken guns and then fix them, and then I could build my collection on a budget, you know. And then at the same time, I'm learning and I'm having a good time. And that was my thing, you know, like drink a whiskey and fix a gun, and that I bought cheap as shit. And then I've got this cool gun that you know, I didn't pay a lot of money for. So I loved that. And I would listen to YouTubers like I remember Eric Veteran 88 and his buddy Barry. I was listening to gunsmithing videos on them and everything, and I started paying a lot more attention. And I already had a mechanical mind, but I just fell in love with how they worked and just worked on them. And I learned that you can build one thing, like you can build one cool thing and make it work real good. That's awesome. That's one thing.
Reproducing it.
Yeah, reproducing on a mass scale is a whole different level, especially using different technologies. Like we started, the Glock stuff is a 3D print. It's different than the normal 3D printing, but it's expensive 3D printing. It's super nice and strong and all that, but it still was brand new. We were the biggest users of that technology for a while. Yeah. And it was in its infancy, and whereas, like, I mean, there's a reason why everyone molds their stuff. There's a lot of reasons, and that has been around for so long, and it's been refined and perfected. So it's nice to finally now with the Raider. The Raider was designed from the ground up to be, you know, mass produced and everything. So we're still finalizing everything, because there's a lot of parts to it. And we're still fine tuning it, like production, just to get streamlined. Because I mean, everyone is hand.
Well, you'll never not do that. That's
right.
That's like keeping your marriage going. You know, you'll do that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, very true.
But the manufacturing and manufacturing ability is very interesting in its own right.
And if we weren't so hell bent for like good quality, we'd have a lot more out there and it'd be a lot easier. But it's kind of one of those things that's like you put your life into it, and you know, I don't know. I mean, we stand by every one of these. Literally, like what he said is like every one of these is hand fitted, every part. So then like the other part of like manufacturing is okay. You got this great idea, great. You got these suppliers now. They're going to supply different aspects and different parts. You think, okay, these are professionals. I give them the money. They give me the parts back. You got to keep your suppliers on spec. Yeah, you got to wait.
Time, quality.
Misunderstandings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, then you've got to hold them to keep everything to spec like crazy. Like, the first parts you get are good. Then a little bit down the line, things start to slide a little bit, you know?
Well, your gauges are crucially important.
So important.
That's also something that you
learn.
You'd never quit on.
Right.
QC, right?
QC. The QC process for each one of these.
It's a moving target.
If people knew, 100%. If people knew how much kind of custom handwork is done to each one of these, there's a reason. It's not the only reason. In fact, the main reason is this holding us back right now is materials, is polymer right now. As anyone in the manufacturing world knows that deals with polymers, COVID put a massive, even before COVID, there were some things that were constricting some of these polymers. And
then the winter storm in Texas was a whole nother thing that even made it way worse.
COVID was really bad. Yeah, COVID was really bad. And then there were a number of other factors on top of that have made worldwide demand for
nylon,
a lot of the polymers.
Yeah, nylon in general, which is the main ingredient in almost any real serious gun
And we
polymer.
went with basically the highest quality polymer that's available. Which it's good and bad. It's good. It's good for the customer. It's bad for us because it becomes really hard to source this material. But this stuff is really incredible. Like
It was developed to replace metal components in engines.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're competing with the automotive industry.
When we say it's an
is the issue.
advanced polymer, it's not like everyone says an advanced polymer, meaning glass-filled nylon. It is an advanced polymer that is incredibly durable. I mean, we test like this.
Blew our
This
minds
one,
the first time
this one right here has been through the absolute ringer. It is like before I painted it, it was beat to shit, and it still, man, it blew my mind. I mean, I was always designing I'm thinking about.
Have you guys ever done any like stress test videos? That'd be kind of cool.
We did one on this one actually is in one. I don't know. I couldn't find it the other day. I don't know what happened to it if they took it down or something.
We're due for a new one though, because
we need to do a new one because this one was, dude. I threw this thing.
So multiple
way higher
stories
than the ceiling.
Yeah,
20,
multiple stories.
20
It's
feet
been
or
run
something,
over.
like as far as I could.
It's been buried.
Fell
It's
on
been,
the optic.
Yeah,
shot it 100 yards because it is a polymer rail, which. You know, that's another reason. That's one of the
Do
main
like a Billy
reasons.
Mays one. Hi, I'm Billy Mays, and this
Yeah,
is the Flux Defense. We're gonna beat the shit out of it today.
Like a slap chop.
Yeah.
That's the lap chop, man.
Slap drop, man.
I miss that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do too, man. Goddamn.
Our sister lives in St. Like where that
He's in
accent
prison
comes
now.
from.
Yeah.
Isn't he or is he? I don't know.
I don't
No,
know.
He
he's
was dead.
Not
No, Billy Mays. Billy Mays
No,
is dead.
the slap
The other
chop
one's not
guy.
dead. That dude's not dead, I don't think.
I thought he got in
I
some
think
trouble.
Billy Mays is dead. I don't know.
I don't
Probably
fucking
both
know.
dead, to be honest with you.
Anyway.
I'm trying to say.
I
So let's
confuse
walk
my
through.
celebrity
I'm a
Yeah,
customer.
yeah.
I'm a
I realize my
customer
knowledge is
who's
not
interested in some of this sweet goodness.
Okay.
I go to fluxdefense.com.
Yeah.
I pick out a product. What's the wait time on it? Is
sold
there a
out.
wait time?
Okay.
Is
So
it all
this is
sold
the
out?
thing. So yeah, we used to take pre-orders when we started the company, and that was not a smart idea because between manufacturing issues like we were talking about before, and then
Because a supplier tells us, oh, now all of a sudden we can't get that for 4 months.
Well, if it's sold out, can they get on some kind of a notification list?
So the thing is, right now, I mean, we've got a lot more people who want to buy it than can. So currently,
Good problem to have.
Yeah, the best it is, but we're constantly working. We're trying to catch up. We're doing better and better and better. We're always doing better. But
We're always on the way.
currently, the best way is to get in our wait list. Not our wait list, but the newsletter.
It's a
Flux
newsletter,
Defense
yeah.
newsletter, and then we'll make announcements prior to doing drops because they sell out within like a minute or two. Like they sell out way too fast. So
Nice.
so if you really want one, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to work for it.
Yeah,
It's,
it
you
sucks.
gotta be on it, and then if you join the Flux Defense owners group, it's not mine, or I'm on
It
it.
was
I try to
independently
help.
created.
I help people with like questions and stuff on there, but someone else started it and I just joined up
Sure.
to help out and connect with the customer. And it's nice with feedbacks, you know, because like then
Yeah,
I
we love
find out what
feedback. We
people
love
want and
feedback.
everything. It's most of our feedback before has just always come from different special forces groups.
So what's next with? I mean, I'm already thinking like, are you guys? I'm sure you've thought of like different sling options and ways to carry it. Maybe even I could see like a really cool Vertex style carrying bag built around this specifically for the civilian that's going to the mall, or or maybe even like a Savage like fanny pack or something. I don't know. I'm just have you guys started thinking of ways
Of
to
course.
add
So
to it, accessories, that sort of thing?
I'll go through the options and the options we're working on. So currently, we're not unfortunately selling any options right now for this particular product. We will be soon. We're still
Give us
refining
time.
them
We're
and
a
everything.
small company.
But
yeah.
if you look at the original MP17 video, which is the predecessor to this product, it was very similar, but this Raider has a million super awesome improvements on top of the MP17, which we don't sell anymore. If you look up the video for that, then you see the holster. So the holster is really sweet. It works with any lighter laser, practically any lighter laser that's built for a handgun. I don't think it'll work with like the new Surefire X, whatever, $1,300.
Who makes the holster? Did you already say that?
Yeah,
You
I
guys do?
designed it.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
We make it. Although it's not out
currently
for this
available
one
right
yet. It's
now.
not out for this one.
Just on the hip.
It's
like-
got to be perfect.
Yeah, so
It's
it's
gotta
on
be
the
perfect.
hip, and it's like as big as any standard Safariland for a handgun, standard handgun. It's
It'd be
not
cool
big.
if you did like a thigh where it's just kind of like
Drop
claps,
leg?
or where it like just like clips on. Like
That would be sweet.
We've got a lot of different ideas.
I'm just sorry.
No. We love it. But yeah, just wait. There might be some.
We
things
do
that
have
might-
some. We do have. I mean, we'd been.
Or like the chest rig.
Yeah. So
You
That's
so-
personally what I
yeah.
think.
So we've been talking. First, the holster. The holster is super sweet. Like it's a quick draw as well. So. Like you draw like a cowboy gun, like there's no front to it. So your can, like if you have a can on there, not only does it work with cans and then any lighter laser, you draw it like super fast because it's not like pull it out and then go forward. It's
got level 2 retention as well. Which is,
yeah, level 2 retention. It's pretty. It's a ridiculously awesome holster. I'm super proud of it. But so.
very
And that's
fast
on the
draw.
website right now?
No,
You can't buy it? Or in development?
So that's still in development. I'm working on it.
You got to perfect it.
Just I don't want to release it, before it's perfect. So, there's that, and then there's another thing I worked on for a long time. I need to actually like get it produced and everything and sell it. But I had this like a shoulder rig that I'd made up. So I carried a modified version of this with the optic mount chopped off, and then a slide mounted optic, so it's like a 1 inch shorter. So it's a little bit more compact. I'm a small dude. I mean, obviously, I'm next to you, and I'm a small dude.
Well, anyone's a small dude next to this guy.
Yeah.
But we're especially small dudes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like 5'7",
We're
150. So I'm a small dude. And
You should have ate more vitamins. That's it.
I mean, I'm only 6'4".
Dude,
My mom
drank-
always said, drink your milk and eat your vitamins.
I drank like half a gallon of milk
Yeah.
every
It's
day.
bullshit. It doesn't really work.
Okay.
It's nonsense.
Unfortunately, midget jeans are still midget jeans.
Don't buy it. Yeah.
But anyway, so I carried it the whole last winter underneath small. I can't wear small shirts, but a size small button-up shirt. So small, and it wasn't buttoned up. On this like shoulder rig that I made up, and a couple magnets on my belt. Yeah. So the only people that have those are different. There's a few special forces groups that have those, and they're testing them out, and that's why we haven't produced them, because that's our
Need your
method.
feedback and see what they say and how they work.
Exactly.
And
But
Exactly.
this version could be huge.
This thing was
for
super,
executive,
man.
Yeah,
That's
executive
cool.
Production.
Super big.
Anyone,
no one
yeah.
knew. No one knew. Every single day, I tried on like a jacket. There's this badass like Native American looking jacket, and I was trying on this in Costco next to this Native American like Navajo lady, and she had no idea that I was carrying it that whole time, because I'm taking like this jacket on and off, trying different sizes and shit.
At Costco?
Yeah. No one. I don't think it's there anymore, but yeah. Everybody who sees it is like, man, it's badass. They want it. But so for like 3 months, dude, 3 months, and no one knew. No one knew I was carrying this thing.
And yet
so
your
I was carrying my
draw,
SBR.
your draw is like
1.25
instantaneous.
seconds. So not quite as fast as my appendix draw.
Well,
Almost,
that's what
almost
he's doing
as,
though. I
almost
mean, there's
as
people who
fast.
can get that faster than that. You know?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
fast.
True Access probably could. He's
Oh
quick.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
True Access is amazing. He's awesome.
Does he
That's
have
not
one of
even
these?
a-
Has he tried one of these?
I think he had unfortunately, that was actually, so super early, like second run of Glock products, we found out some issues with the 3D. We no longer touch that manufacturer of,
Sure.
but
You're going to have that. Don't
that
be
3D,
embarrassed by
that 3D
yeah.
printing technology has to be run perfect, like has to be taken care of perfectly. So we learned that was a harsh lesson.
Yeah.
Like a few months into starting Flux, it was a very harsh lesson. So unfortunately, he got some shit versions.
Sure.
That it was not great. He didn't have a great experience. He's talked to us. We've talked to him later on. Maybe we'll send him a Raider at some point. I don't know.
Sorry.
But yeah,
I didn't mean
dude,
to-
he's an amazing dude. His close retention.
I just knew he was quick. When I
His
think quick, I
close
think of-
retention shit too,
That guy's
man.
a-
Like,
yeah, he's
oh
fast.
man, it's amazing. I love that stuff. But so like for me though, I'm not super fast. Like appendix draw, if I'm going like super close up, I'm like 0.8 seconds.
You're not slow.
I'm
That's
not slow.
That's not a slow.
And
time.
then, but I'm not super fast. And then like here, I'm like 1.1 to 2 depending. And then aimed shots, like a headshot, maybe 7 yards or whatever. I'm like maybe 0.95 appendix, and then 1.25 about for an aim shot with from the hit from like 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and then with this rig, dude, this rig with 40 rounds on the gun. It's my SBR, and so I was running a stock, so it wasn't a pistol brace version, but I'm going out, and then I have basically a tiny little PDW that is incredibly controllable. And 1.25 seconds, I'm getting like headshots at 7 yards. So,
So
That's
1.25.
fast.
yeah, very, very fast.
But if
and I
you-
can run, I can climb lat. With that rig, I can climb, I can jump up. I'm very, very, I love my mobility. Like I like to be able to run. I like to be able to move very actively and climb up shit, climb over shit. So I made sure that it's still easy to retain, like still very well retained.
You're my worst enemy.
Yeah.
But so then you're comparing this to like 7 to 10 yards. All of a sudden, if you go to a 50, 75, 100 yards, how fast can you make that 100-yard shot from draw? You can make it real fast with one of these.
Yeah. Or even like 50. I mean, like,
And not with a lot of training. It doesn't take you hours and hours of training to be able to pull something like that off.
that's the
You can
thing
do
too.
that
Is
pretty quick.
A lot of people who are extremely good with a handgun. So a handgun, people can get extremely good with a handgun, and that's great. And you should practice, but at the same time, that takes an extreme amount of dedication. Whereas this just makes it easy. It just makes it really easy. And if, because of physics, if you have the same, all things being equal, you have the same amount of practice and experience, you will always be better with third point of contact, whether it be a brace or a stock. Like a third point of contact will greatly aid your shooting ability,
Effectiveness.
your effectiveness.
Well, and that's a big deal right now. There's a lot of talk right now with police being able to have enough training to properly use their firearms. Well, all of a sudden you have a situation here now where you have a weapon that takes way less training to be effective with than a traditional pistol. I mean, most people are not great with the pistol. And even people that shoot pistols are not that good with pistols for the most part, you know what I mean?
Have you guys introduced this to SWAT? You have.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot of
SWAT was
SWAT
one of the
interests,
major. They were. I mean, they got us to change our holsters to be used with like the QLS Farland QLS system, which is awesome. And yeah, SWAT's always been. So we have SWAT guys that run them.
One of my best friends, he just texted me over the weekend. I met him at the police academy in Burien, and we were both testing for police departments in Washington State. And he just made SWAT. I'm gonna send him a link to this.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
So the uses we've seen in SWAT are mostly. So I mean, backup to a sniper is a huge deal. Like it's one of the best backups because you can have it like on your hip. You can have it super fast and ready to use, and it's very capable. But for SWAT particularly.
For sure. No, I agree.
And then also low profile people. Most people don't know this, but because of idiots who like to take guns to place in events and shoot people, there are now a lot of low profile security, both private and government, which the government is typically SWAT, and a lot of them are running like CZ Scorpion, like they're running typically sub guns, kind of like under a jacket, whatever. Which this is way easier to conceal and way better. So that's the other use that they.
We got a buddy who does that locally. It's pretty cool to know that, like, there's a lot of idiots out there. Specifically, we saw in the last year rioting, blowing things up.
Yeah.
They might not get arrested that day, but they'll be in federal prison 2 weeks from then.
Yeah.
You know, because there's so many undercover guys out there. Yeah. They're watching, they're taking photos, and then the next thing, you get a knock on your door and you're going to court.
Yeah.
But I think that's really cool that it just made me think of that, you know, because those are, it's super important for those officers who are out there in such a dangerous situation to be able to conceal an effective weapon like that.
Much more effective than a handgun, you know.
I think you'll see a lot of departments starting to adopt this as we're able to fill more orders and as it's able to get out there more. I think you're going to see a lot of people.
Yeah.
Has Hollywood hit you guys up yet? I'm surprised I haven't seen any of these in the first John Wick.
Well, it's been one movie so far.
Which one?
Okay, so a long time. I mean, we've actually been hit up by a lot of different prop companies and everything, and it's great. We're happy to support any of that because it's awesome, dude. It's super cool. Sorry if anyone working on this film is listening to this shit, but
no apology necessary.
there's a film. Okay, so there's a film out there with Bruce Willis, no less, as well as if you like the best sci-fi show ever, Expanse.
Yeah.
The detective there is the one using like the Glock version. Unfortunately, you know, I mean,
It's Hollywood.
It's Hollywood, and
taking
people don't
forever?
know guns and everything.
Okay.
No, dude, it's out, but
It's on the
if I
cover.
recall,
It's on the cover.
I think it was a reshoot. It's on the cover and everything. I think it's on Netflix or whatever. But dude, if you want to laugh your ass off, you should watch it. Like,
Dude,
About the so
it's
are
not
they,
supposed to be funny. But
it
if
is
did they mess
amazing.
it up using
No,
it or
no, well, yeah. I mean,
Or
it's
the
a
show?
sci-fi. This is like in the future. This is like
Sure.
in space. So yeah,
But
it's
it
definitely
did have
not
a
used
debut
correctly.
in Hollywood.
It did have a debut.
we
But
made it. We made it big
is
time.
astounding that
What did they do?
that Hollywood is still producing B movies of this level. I mean, this is like
It's not a B
maybe more
movie.
a
It
C
is
an
not
A
a B
movie.
movie.
It's a C movie. I'm
Bruce
sorry.
Willis
like
is in
in
it.
C.
It's
or
appalling.
better.
And then Bruce Willis is in it. This star is in.
What did they do? What did they do?
It's just the movie itself. It's if you don't know.
The
But they
entire
used it
movie,
properly.
The entire,
Yeah. I mean, it's
not
in,
really.
Well, yeah, it's
not really.
Like I said,
but
it's in space. It's not a real gun. It's
if you want, it's called Breach.
Called Breach, yeah.
And if you want to laugh your ass off,
If you're
watch
into
it.
B
If
movies
you
and
want-
like laughing at funny movies,
yeah.
like you should
If
watch
you
it.
want to watch a cool movie, don't
Are
watch
you
it.
calling
Like, it's,
Bruce Willis a B-level actor?
No.
Well, now, yes, I am. Now he is. Unfortunately,
dude, I love Bruce Willis.
I love
but
Bruce Willis
The
to
whole
death. I
show,
love
the
Bruce
whole show, just it's hilarious. Like it's so bad, it's hilarious. So yeah, there's that, and then
So
we just
it's in a B movie.
and then Battlefield 2042. We just saw like my guy just
it appears
sent
that it's
me.
in that.
Yeah,
It
Alex
appears the
sent
Raiders
me.
probably in that.
Did you guys know about that?
No, so this is like this tiny little screenshot that I got sent. Like it's pixelated as all hell because it's tiny on the screen. Yeah.
Has Tac Gas talked to you guys yet? I feel like they could use these.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
I
Call of
mean,
Duty stuff.
I know that Arias has talked to him. I don't know if we
Yeah.
really have, but yeah.
I will say this: if it's in any game, they're gonna have to detract from it quite a bit because its actual use is so effective that I think.
Yeah, it is more so. Okay, I can't say who. I can't say hardly any details. But going against the MP, so the reason why I was talking about the MP7 is this is being looked at as the replacement for MP7s and different like, extremely high tier units.
by the highest tier, units you
like
can
the
imagine.
highest tier, and then so far in VBSS and hostage shit, like it is. They were saying it's 30% faster, and then it's more powerful.
Yeah.
And so they're
I was gonna say
they're
it's a big
absolutely
hit.
loving
It's a
it.
big hit so
So in
far.
terms of like in this for SWAT and other uses, like for room around barriers, like it's so tiny, it's so small,
Sure.
it's just so much more maneuverable. So there's another.
Like I said,
use
it's a
for it.
radical product, but if you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
If you don't get it,
And in my mind, so what I wanted is to create the best personal defense weapon. Like that's what
You guys did a pretty good job.
Thank you.
It
shooting's
was
believing.
awesome to have you guys on.
Yeah.
It's been awesome being on here. Thank you so much.
So
We'll have to have you come
fluxdefense.com?
back.
yeah.
Fluxdefense.com? And then is it flux.defense on Instagram or Flux Defense on
I think it's
Instagram?
just Flux Defense with an S, no British spelling.
Oh, all right then. It don't like S's.
They don't like.
I don't like the
I
S.
don't like.
Yeah.
No, wait, with an S. I
With
don't
an
like,
S.
I
With
don't
an
like
S.
the C.
They don't like the C.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what they
no,
don't
yeah.
like.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Flux
spelled it the right
Defense.
way.
Yeah.
We spelled it the right way.
Cool.
They spawn the language, you can't even speak it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, go check out Flux Defense. Super happy to have you
Well,
guys
and
on.
and we
for
can't
having us
we got to say thank you so much for having us because
Yeah.
No, we're honored to have you.
like Dead Air and Mike Pappas has been like if there's like a pinnacle
Yeah.
like that's
yeah.
fuck, it's so cool.
I
It's
didn't
so
get
cool.
to it. I
It's
didn't
so
get to
cool.
it earlier because I've been talking way too much. I'm
Immense
sorry. I wish Mike
respect.
could talk, but
And
Mike,
for Dead Air
Mike,
silence
liter-
has been-
Mike changed the trajectory and potentially saved. I think I've tried to communicate this idea to him. I'm not sure if I've done it effectively, but he literally changed, and maybe actually without him Flux might have either not happened or whatever.
Yeah.
But like after the meeting with him, man, we pulled over on the way back to Salt Lake, and it completely changed because we started with it was awesome. So we were like super grateful to Mike.
So
he
they
is,
can people can also support you guys through your swag and stuff, which I got to say,
Yeah.
one of my favorite T-shirts is your Flux tee.
Yeah, that
I
one.
wear it at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Thanks, man. Yeah, Fog Forward Observations Group designed this one, which is my favorite, man. I'm
That's
tempted
cool.
as hell to get that tattooed on me.
You should.
But,
That's a pretty rad tat.
I love that thing, man. Forward Observations Group.
So they can support you
Yeah.
that way too. If they can't necessarily, I mean, obviously get on the waiting list to grab your
Yeah.
your device here, and then get your T-shirts and your swag and
And look, all the people out there that have supported us and that have seen it and get it, we appreciate so much.
Yeah.
You guys' support. We're a little company. We're doing the best we can. We are all about quality. So, like, we appreciate you really guys being patient with us.
Understanding. Yeah.
We will get there. We'll get it out to you. We'll get it. But thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Well,
guys.
again, great to have you guys on.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Love you, Mike. Love you, Rich.
Love you too,
hell
guys.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, we're excited to see what you guys do next.
Have a
a
great
lot.
rest of the week.
All right.
Hell yeah.
See you guys.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with all your home slicers.